All right, we're going to graph some piecewise functions. So what this means is, and we're not graphing the whole graph, we're just graphing a piece of it. All right, so let's start. We're going to start on number 3. I think it's a little easier than starting on number 1. So let's go down to number 3. All right, think of it this way. These are 3 separate equations, so you're going to have to graph 3 separate lines on your paper. Your first one says y equals 1. Did I write that down correctly? Y equals 1? Yep. All right, there is no x in this equation, so we're not going to have a rise over run. No slope, it's just going to be a flat line at 1. All right, watch me on this. Don't write this down. So, everybody understands we got a flat line, right? All right, now here's the trick. This is showing us what they want to see on the graph. They don't want to see the whole line. They want you to go to -4 and put an open circle. Why is it open and not closed? Yeah, if it was greater than or equal to, it would be closed. Okay, so let's go to -4, open circle right there. So right away you can see my line's already messed up. Open circle right here. Now, this is greater than. The greater numbers are always going forward, correct? Think of it this way. The arrow points to the right. That is the only side you draw your line. So we're not showing the whole line, we're just showing a piece of the line. All right, and you're going to do that 3 times on each problem. So did y'all do this last year? Nope. All right, question about the first line. All right, let's do the second line. All right, second line is y equals x plus 5. Now, if you guys want to do one of these in different colors, everybody should have 3 colors on your desk. If you need some colors, I will bring you some colors.
I have 2. I don't have 3.
All right, yeah, everybody should have 2, not 3. You know? All right, I'll bring them by in a minute if you need some. Where is the bowl of colors? Y'all see the wooden bowl? All right, send that around over there for anybody that needs some colors. All right, so we're going to graph the second line. Remember, it's y equals each one of these. So now you know how to graph this. You start at 5, that's your y-intercept. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, this one has an x. What's my rise over run? What's understood to be in front of the x right here? A 1. So everybody knows that's up 1 over 1. All right, so I'm not going to draw the line because it's too hard for me to erase it. I'm just going to make points. So if you guys are going to do the erase method the way I'm showing, draw your points very lightly so you can erase it. All right, so now let's look right here. Same thing. They want you to put an open circle at -4. We already got one there. All right, which side of the circle do I draw my line, on the right or the left? Arrow points to the right, greater than. Draw it on the right. I erase it on the left. Many of you can just do it right the first time. Y'all won't have to erase. Anybody else need a color pencil? All right, so we've got one more line we have to draw. All right, the last one is y equals -x minus 3. Y equals -x minus 3. Now look, I'm writing them down again at the bottom. You don't have to do that. All right, but where do we start this one at? -3. Put a point at -3. That's your y-intercept. All right, this time what number is understood to be in front of x? That's a -1, right? So let's look at it. We don't go up 1 over 1. Since it's -1, I go down 1, but I still go forward 1. So down 1 over 1. So now my points will be lined up like this. All right, look at what they want you to show on the graph. It says open circle at -4. It's already there. And once again, it says greater than. It points to the right. You only show what's on the right of that circle. Everything else on the left must be erased. So most of the time it makes a shape. I don't know if that's really a shape. But sometimes it will make a letter, like a W or a Z or an M. All right, anybody have a question about number 3? All right, now let's go to number 1. All right, since the order that we graph these doesn't matter, I'm going to graph this one first right here. Y equals absolute value of x. Now, we should know what kind of shape that means. But what if you forgot? Let's plug in your calculator. What kind of shape is absolute value? It is going to be a V, but if you forgot, hit your Y equals button. All right, it's already plugged in here, so I'm just going to hit graph, and it shows me it's a V. Okay, so this is going to be a V. Well, how do we know how wide to make it? Well, look, isn't that still a 1? Yeah, so it's still up 1 over 1. So my V is going to look like this. And then I'll erase whatever I need to make it fit the problem. All right, what does this mean? -3 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3. All this means, guys, is start at -3 and go all the way to +3. That's all it means. Now, circles, open or closed. These are closed because they've got the equal line under it, okay? So -3 is here, go all the way to +3 here, and anything outside that I can erase. So that's our V. All right, now let's go to y equals 4. All right, y equals 4 looks a little bit different. What's it missing? It doesn't have an x. What does that mean? No slope. No rise over run means it's just going to be a flat line at 4. Okay? And look, it's going to go from -5 all the way to +5. So here's your line at 4. Circle should be shaded in once again. From -5 on the left all the way to +5 on the right. All right, so the last one, maybe y'all can do it by yourself. Try it. +3 is right here. All right, I've got a -1 in front, so that's -1 over 1, so I don't go up 1 over 1, we go down 1 over 1. So my points are going through here. All right, now it says go to +2 and put a shaded circle. +2, follow it up till you hit the graph right here. It says greater than. I erase everything back behind the 2. I only need what's in front of the 2 because the arrow is pointing forward. It says greater than. All right, so most of the time these make a shape. This one's not really a shape. That is your answer on number 1. All right, let's do the second part of it. Whoops. All right, I've got y equals x plus 4. All right, well, this one shouldn't be hard to graph. We go to 4 for our y-intercept right here. My slope is a 1, so I go up 1 over 1. All right, look at this. It says go to -2, put an open circle. We already have an open circle at -2. So the arrow says greater than, points to the right. I only show what's on the right of the circle. Okay, a lot of you got that one right, and a lot of you messed up on the last one. Let's look at the last one. See what's different about it. All right, it says y equals -x plus 4. Okay, well, I know we got to go back to 4. Already got a point there. What's our rise over run this time? Yeah, instead of up 1 over 1, it's negative, so I go down 1. I still go forward 1. So down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. says open circle at 2, go right. That's what I've got. That's my graph on number 2. Look what you got. All right, so if we're done with the front and you guys are on the back, do 5 before we do 4.
So I did the V, but I did B side, not the inside.
Okay, so this one's going to be your V. Okay, and they want you to start it at -2 and stop it at +2. So let me show you. Here's -2. Here's +2. I can only draw my V between there and there. So that's why I stopped it here. Z, that's why I didn't go up any higher.
What if the signs were flipped?
What
And
if
is
the
that
sign flipped?
Is that this?
Okay, now look, this is the only one that's gonna make a V, because that's the only one that's got absolute value.
Right.
This is gonna be just a line, and this is gonna be just a line.
Yeah, I did that.
So,
I'm just saying, how do you know not to run outside like how? What is the sign? What if the sign is
gotcha,
different?
gotcha. When you see it like this, Z, only draw the graph in between these two numbers. Don't go outside of them.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I didn't go outside of -2, and I didn't go outside of +2.
So even if the sign was the opposite, it wouldn't matter?
When it's like this, these will always be less than every time. You won't ever have one that's opposite. All right, so we're doing 5. I'll show you that one in a minute. All right, let's do 5. Looking around, a lot of you guys already have 5. All right, so look, once again, it says y = 3. We don't have an x. Can't do a slope, no rise over run. It's going to be a flat line at 3. Now look, we can go ahead and look. They want it starting at -3 and stopping at +3. So there to there. All right, that's your first line. Anybody have a question? Started it and I stopped it. Is it off? Oh, what is that? Must have hit something. All right, let's go ahead and do the bottom one. I saw some of y'all did it this way. This one's just y = -3. So look, you got the same thing. It's instead of +3, it's down at -3. All right, a couple of you had questions on the middle one. This is y = x. If you don't see a number behind it, you can put +0. That will give you a place to start. Start at 0. Slope is 1. That's up 1 over 1. So I can see it's going to go through there. And this one did make a letter. It made a Z. All right, you guys try 4. All right, so now if I look at this part, it says put a shaded in circle at -1. Okay, there it is. And it points to the right, so I only show my line to the right. All right, so the first part is done. All right, now I know the second part's going to be a flat line, so that one should be easy. There's no x, there's no slope. That's going to be a flat line at -2. See if y'all can draw that. I don't think that part is right. I think it might. Everybody else has got it from now. Bottom and look, it does point to the right. Yep, let's do it. All right, here's your flat line at -2. All right, I saw this on a lot of people's. A lot of y'all forgot to look here. Guys, that's pointing left. It says less than, so you only show your flat line going left of the circle. A lot of kids in every class have been putting that line on the right side of the circle because the other signs were going to the right. I guess you just overlooked. All right, and last we got y = -x - 3. So I know I go to -3. down 1 over 1. Points to the right, only show the line on the right of the circle. All right, it's a good time for a bathroom break if you got to go. We'll come back and we'll start reviewing everything that's going to be on the quiz.